Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here. So we got some more info on the PTS stuff, and it seems like it's going to be related to sparkling keys. So starting things off on Mondays specifically, it says that the vaults in the Depths Delve will produce slightly more soul adepts if opened with a sparkling key. So it's going to be these things over here. They're going to be these special keys. So if you don't have access to D15, I guess don't worry about it too much, but eventually you're going to want to get these keys because it looks like you're going to get slightly more. I don't know if that just means 1 or 2 extra, but any little bit of soul adepts really help. So it is nice to see that they're actually doing something more with these sparkling keys instead of just 1 extra. I feel like we started to complain a lot and they're starting to give us a little bit more, or the dupes just have gotten so bad that they're just trying to compensate in some way. So whatever the case is, I guess I'll just read on the rest of the patch notes. So that was for the Depths Delve, and then for the 5-star dungeon, so the place I'm at right now, if you use a sparkling key, it says that you're going to also get some more soul adepts. So the thing that I mentioned on the last PTS update, I guess that only applies to the Monday. It is kind of strange knowing that you can get soul adepts from here now, since it was just the 1 depths core, and then you had a chance of getting these trunk boxes as long as you had the node unlocked in the rune anvil. But honestly, I can't really complain. I am sad that I used a lot of my sparkling keys, so I guess I'll have to collect again. By the way, I'm like 3-4 months behind. The PTS, for whatever reason, if you export your account, is broken. So it took me back like many months before. So if you guys are experiencing that on the PTS, just know that that's a thing. They somehow broke it. So let's just move on from that incident. But yeah, overall, I think those changes for Monday is going to be very helpful. We're actually adding some use to these sparkling keys, whereas before it was pretty pointless. So glad to see that this implementation, it should have happened when this update first came out, the whole D15 stuff, but better late than never. And then kind of adding on to this whole situation, so what I just mentioned was on Monday, so now I'm going to talk about any of the days. So surface depths caches, so the D15 5-star dungeons, the chest at the end that you use a key to unlock, it says that it's going to produce more depths core than before if opened with a sparkling key. So I have a sparkling key, we're at a 5-star dungeon, let's open it and see what happens. Alright, moment of truth, I just did the 5-star, let's open the chest. So we should be getting more than 2 depths core, because with the sparkling key before we got 2, so now we should see, I don't know, 4 something. Let's see, we open it and we get all right, there we go, 4 depths core, so they doubled it. I wonder if that value will change every time. That probably doesn't change. So 4 every time is huge. I mean, to be honest, it's better than nothing, because it's not like super amazing or anything, but it does add up in the long run, so there is that. So that's gonna be the stuff with these sparkling keys. So like I said, I'm glad that they actually have a use now, because before it was pretty pointless to have them, and I guess it did help a little bit, but it didn't really help that much extra. But either way, next thing on the list is the crafting for depths core. So these things, if you remember, you could only craft 1 a day for, I don't know why, to be honest with you. And they increased that to 3. I still don't know why. It's like nothing. I don't really understand that. Like 15, like if you can get 15 a day, maybe I can get behind that, and that's just a maybe. 3, that still doesn't really do anything. I mean, the resources itself isn't really hard to get, but I mean, if you don't mind farming the plants, then I guess go for it. You can craft your 3 a day for those. I don't know, like I said, I guess better than nothing. I'm most likely not going to be using that. It is nice that the option is there. So I guess, I don't know, maybe if you have too many plants and you just don't want the plants, then I guess you have that use, but I don't know. Next up is a change that is actually kind of huge. So if you guys didn't know, the key fragments, so in order to craft the actual keys, the Runa key fragments, that is, as of right now, if you wanted to get extras, you would just farm D15 5-star dungeons. But now it looks like you can actually get them from elemental worlds in D15. So that right there is a huge change, because as you're farming your gem boxes, you can actually make progress towards these keys, and even work towards getting the one for delves, because this one is a little bit more costly, a little bit more expensive. Now, if they can just do the same for the depths delves, you actually make profit on making key fragments. So if you crafted 10, you use all 10, and then you can craft 20 the next, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm asking for too much at that point, but I guess let's go test it out. So here we have a dungeon. I'm over in D15 air world, so let's just defeat the boss real quick. Do a little damage, and then once we break the chest, there it is, 3 runic key fragments, so you actually get them. So that is nice to see, but just like the rest of this video, better late than never. And for the other change, I gotta go to a dragon crucible. For some reason, they deleted all of my clubs. Like, what the heck happened? I had some pretty OP clubs on PTS. but I guess I don't anymore. Okay, if you guys are experiencing weird things with the PTS, let me know. Like, I know that they did say that it's gonna be broken, but I didn't think it was gonna be this broken. Okay, so for the other change, the Dragon Crucible, it says that they rearranged some recipes. I'm a little bit confused. Oh, wait, I think I see what they mean by this. Okay, so the way they worded it, this doesn't really make sense too much because they said that many recipes have had their materials rearranged. Eggs and egg fragments are now the first item in the recipe. I thought they meant that they're going to combine the fragment dragons or the hatch dragons or dragon eggs together or something, or maybe move them to the top. But it seems like, now I could be wrong on this, but at least this is the way I understand it. The dragons that have an egg or a fragment will be on the top, I'm pretty sure, the first item. So I guess that makes it a little bit less confusing because before I guess they're at the bottom sometimes. So I guess that's a cool little addition. So if you want to know the information on how to get the dragon egg or the fragments, it's just going to be at the top instead of on the bottom. I don't know if they appeared in the middle. I didn't really pay attention, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I'd say a nice little quality of life little update there. And from the looks of it, that is going to be everything. Now overall, this is a main emphasis on the sparkling keys, which by all means I'm glad that they did this. And so far this whole PTS has been pretty decent. I don't really have too many complaints. I would have still liked more buffs for the rest of the classes. Like, not necessarily Boomeranger and Shadowhunter, but like the other classes. So that would have been nice to see. And then I saw somewhere, I don't remember who said it, but I don't think they actually fixed Lunar Lancer. I could be wrong on that, but so far we're just on PTS, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if it gets fixed, or if it's fixed. I don't play the class, so I don't experience the freezing, which was the main issue. And then also, we are waiting for the Night rework. So I'm not sure if you guys caught that from my previous PTS video, but Night is getting a rework. We just don't have any information on when that's going to drop. And the fact that it's been taking them this long, they're probably cooking up something huge. So if Night becomes the best class in the game, just don't even be surprised. I guarantee you, I don't know, should I guarantee it? I mean, I feel like usually when these things happen, if they actually do rework the class and they actually do stuff with the class, unlike the old Gunslinger rework that they did where they just gave him a slight buff and then nerfed him later, if they end up reworking Knight, I feel like he's going to be the next best class. Now, I could be wrong, but I just have a feeling, you never know. And if that's the case, then maybe it's time to swap all of our stuff from Boomerangers over to Knight. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really have any information on if it's a full rework, if they're just getting rid of all the abilities and just redoing the class. And I have no information on when it's going to be either. But either way, that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you find yourself coming back, and I'll talk to you guys later.